I am a graphic and textile print designer from Tipperary in Ireland. I moved here to London nearly 2 years ago. It's coming up to my 2 year anniversary in January, which is
Yeah,
crazy.
same.
It's literally flown so
I
much.
know.
Spoiled.
Yeah, I moved February 2 years ago. I feel like the first year didn't exist. Like,
It didn't
didn't happen.
exist.
Yeah. You're a textile and print designer.
Textile and print designer.
Okay.
And
How did you do that in college? How did you get into
yes, so
Okay.
I graduated from NCAD in 2022. So my course is textile and surface design. So like you can specialize in print or constructed. So that's like weaving and like using a loom and like kind of more knitwear base. But I chose print.
Why did you choose or why did you go into print?
Yeah, good question. I never thought I would like be doing kind of like fashion based stuff, but I always loved like illustration and like graphics and like like growing up like arty or whatever. I was always painting and drawing, and so I always loved that. And like I thought that I would do graphic design or illustration, but I ended up loving like the kind of I really like in first year realized that I love like repeating patterns, and I loved like we had like a heat press. I was always in the like soft materials room, like sewing and like heat pressing, and like I hadn't been taught that before. I didn't really do home ec. Like I did it for like my first year of secondary school, but like I didn't really know how to sew or anything. I just loved it.
Yeah, but
I
even
was
in
like,
art, like we don't learn that in like
no,
art for junior cert or whatever. Like that doesn't come up.
no, like, and I
Yeah.
just loved working with fabric. I don't know, and
Okay.
like the idea that you could like put it on your body. I was like, whoa, this is like new concepts like discovered.
It's so handy.
I had no idea the textile print was a thing. Like I was obviously like I always loved color and I always loved like pattern and like whatever, and I never realized that that could be like I don't know something you could like specialize in.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like make a career out of.
Exactly.
Can you explain? Because I don't know anything about. Can you explain like how that actually works? So you create a pattern just through like a painting or like ink or
So
what
like
is
you
it?
can create like a repeating pattern from anything. It can be photography based, it can be like drawing based, it can be like literally anything. And like anything you can print on paper, you can print digitally onto fabric.
Okay.
And obviously there's like loads of different methods you can like print with. You can print with you can screen print, you can lino print onto fabric. Like you can kind of like textile markers and textile paints and stuff. Like it's a really like open like medium. Do you know what I mean? Like working with fabric is really like explorative, I think.
I was gonna say, and like I've sometimes I get this because I dabble with a sewing machine, haven't done it in 6 months.
Dabble.
But I feel like it's such a like exercise of mindfulness, like when you're physically working
with your hands.
Yeah, with your hands. Whenever I'm doing it, I'm like, this is so nice, and I can escape for like 3 hours and not feel the time go by.
No, it's honestly amazing because like human, like our brains were developed like to like our motor function in our brain. I forget the name. Motor, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm not a neurologist.
Yeah,
but that's like the biggest part of our brain, which like works with like your hands and like deals with like movement. So like we like our bodies haven't developed from hundreds of years ago.
Yeah.
And like now we're like I guess we're all like on our phones and like we're kind of like very sedentary beings. Like we're kind of sitting. You do feel like that flow when you're like drawing, painting, sewing.
Do you feel like your work has changed at all since moving to London?
Yes.
Because I went through like a deep dive of your page, like your design page.
Oh my god, she's changed.
Yeah, but like I see it like, and that work was so beautiful, but it's definitely like taken a different direction.
Changed. Like, you can even see it physically in me. Like I used to have like bright pink hair. Like I still wear quite a lot of color, but not as much as I used to.
Yeah.
I think that like my style or whatever, like in my like design and art has always like it always reflects like a time in your life. I think like art obviously is very like reflective and very like autobiographical, I guess. Like it kind of like I feel like my time in college was super colorful and like it was like a very much explorative time, and like that was reflected in my work. And then moving to London no, like this city has like chewed me up and spat me out like so many times. Like I feel like I've kind of like definitely changed so much like as a person and in my work in London, because you are just influenced by so much, but also like it is tough. Like there's a lot of tough times, and like I feel like that's that definitely affects my work.
Yeah.
Like,
I'd
the
say,
colour,
yeah,
the
the
colour's
color's gone. You definitely are still like, I think your artwork is still really colorful,
gone.
but it does feel like, I'm gonna butcher these descriptions, but I feel like, and you can tell me if I'm wrong, but it has become more, a little bit more like industrial. Like, do you think that's because of
Yeah.
London, like influenced by London, or just like?
I think it's just like influenced by like the kind of style that I have like liked. I kind of like in college, like with my final year degree project, like it was very colorful, but like still like my kind of line work was very like oil pastel, which has like a really like crayony effect. So like I really liked that kind of simplistic style, very like very minimal, but then using very bright colors. So I think like my kind of interests and like what I like aesthetically has definitely changed since moving here. Like I love like fine line like tattoos. Like I'm influenced. There's so much in London that you can like be influenced by. But
Yeah.
I definitely feel like I've definitely gone for a more minimal kind of vibe. And I really love I did some of this in my final year collection. Like I love slogans, I love typography, which is something I've been like exploring so much more with what I'm doing with Croí Gaeilge. Like I love working with fonts and kind of like more graphic stuff.
That was one thing I think that caught my eye initially with Croí Gaeilge. Like, I don't know, way back when. I must have just moved. When did you set that up?
I think you were at the first ever
I was
thing
at the
that I
first
did.
thing,
So
I think.
I
WB.
started it in like I want to say I set up the page in like August 2023, right? And then I did my
Okay.
first event in like October. Then I didn't do anything for like a few months. I had like a bit of a meant to be like left the country for like a month.
So fair.
I like ran away to France for a month.
Oh, stunning. Needed.
I went away to rural France for like a month, and then I came back, and I was like, that was like my kind of time to try like sort my life out and like figure out what I want to do. And I was like, I really want to do stuff with this idea. So then I started up properly then in like February of 2024. So like that is my proper start date, I want to say.
Yeah.
For Croí Gaeilge, I think.
It just immediately caught my eye. I was like, this is so cool. This looks so cool.
Great.
Yeah.
Happy.
Yeah.
Because like definitely I'm trying to like I'm just like with the page, like I'm even exploring more about like I love poster design. I love a good poster.
Yeah.
I love it.
Something that I've noticed like with your work is that there's this kind of like element of like activism. So in your final, was that your final project that is mostly on your page? No Shame in My Freedom.
Yes,
that was your final.
That was
project?
my final year degree collection. So my collection was based around women's sexual liberation and like women, like empowering women's sexuality and like subverting the male gaze and like and having no shame. I created this collection called Summer Sexcapades, and it was based around my time spent in Margate when I interned for Elizabeth Whibley, who's like a really, really old, colourful designer, and I always loved her work. You know, you can be, you know, who you are. Like you can be bright and bold and colourful, and like there's no shame in that. And I think I wanted to kind of like create work then that reflected that time in my life and kind of like that really, really happy time, and like to carry that with me throughout the year, which was like a really, really tough year. Like it was just such a nice summer spent after like a really tough time in my life. Like went there, kind of felt like a lot of like freedom and escapism, and like came back to my final year then and kind of like created this collection based around that. My tutors were amazing. They're so encouraging and like really like fucking went for it. They were like, you do, like, no, go more, like don't be afraid to like really, really go for it. And I was like, that was really inspiring, because I believe like obviously like design and art and everything, it has such an amazing power to like incite change and like create discussions around issues. Like for me anyways, like with like, you know, the small community I'm trying to build, I think that I can't create work without like addressing like what's happening in the world. I think like the world feels so dark, and you feel so helpless, and you feel so like, what can I do? And like you, like obviously you're passionate about sustainability, like you feel the same. You're like, what can I do? And so you've started this page in this community, and you're like, you know, having these discussions with people. I think that's so important.
Who are your favorite Irish brands, ATM?
Oh god, so many.
I have so many as
I've
well.
got like
you need to...
Where do we start? Well, firstly, obviously Simone Rocha is killing it. Like she just won the like British Women's Wear Fashion Award. And in her acceptance speech, she called for free Palestine and dedicated her award. She dedicated her award to women and children who are being place, Croí. Like,
Wow.
yeah, she called for that. You can find footage of that.
I was gonna say, because I've read articles about like, oh, these people won. I didn't even.
Yeah,
I never saw that.
If you try to find her speech on whatever, like they've cut out the
Really?
free pass. Yeah, they have. But and JW, obviously, I love. God, there's so many. I love what Megan McGuigan is doing with Seeking Judy and her. Have you seen her new solstice? Her solstice.
Oh my, like beautiful.
Her knitwear piece is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
And she uses dead stock yarns and fibers to create those pieces, and like she's just really. I think she's quite like quite an innovator.
Yeah.
Like, she's doing really cool stuff, and I think she's part of the panel with the Dublin Independent Fashion Week as well, and that was on recently as well. That was sick. That looks sick. So like all the designers.
Did you go?
I didn't.
I didn't go. I was so
but like
jealous.
I saw the footage, like I saw the videos and stuff. Obviously, but, like all the designers there are killing it. Like Megan McGuigan, Alicia Carey, Ashton Duffy, all those designers. They're killing it. There's so many Irish brands that are doing like amazing bits. I also love Robin Lynch. Robin Lynch is amazing. So great. I love like the way she's making like Irish knitwear and stuff, like contemporizing it. Contemporizing.
We'll take it.
Like, taking a contemporary twist with like traditional Irish craft, like so great, and like her motifs and like everything about. I think like when you move away from Ireland, you become so staunchly like fucking like nationalist, or so staunchly like so much pride. Like like I started fucking Irish. I would die. I would just die for Ireland. Pelador doing bits. They like did a show last week down in an Irish pub called Skians in South London, and then they had their pop up, and like they're doing really really cool stuff with like sportswear, obviously, like giving it like Irish twist and whatever. And the lads that run it are so sound. I love Zeta.
No.
Oyenza, Zeta the architect. So she's like wears many hats. She's like she's like,
stylist. Oh yeah, okay.
Stylist, director, journalist, like you name it. Like she's amazing, and she did this event a couple of weeks ago during Irish Design Week called the Art Styling. So she curated this event, brought together like loads of like fashion people like in Ireland, and created this event, and it looked really sick.
I think Ireland's like buzzing at the minute.
Popping off. Irish people popping off. Like so great. But they're also love Aoife Colley. Do you know Aoife Colley art? She's brilliant. Like she's really like taking like she's so inspired by like Celtic design, like Irish design. Like
she's so talented.
She's so interested in like history and like medieval times, and she's like really contemporizing that and like bringing such a feminine twist. And like her own style, and she's just so sound as well. Like I love her. I feel like people are really like embracing like Celtic, like traditional Celtic design, like Irish design, also turning towards like a more slow pace of life, like because I think after the pandemic people, things slowed down and people like were able to appreciate that. And then it's kind of swung back the other way now, where things are so I'm just speaking from living in London, like super fast paced, but I do know a lot of people who like really really crave like Irish people who are craving like nature, they're craving like a slower pace of life, and like, they find the city really tough, and like I'm the same. I do like crave that a lot. I was like 6 months into London. I was in like a design job. It was a really really great job. I was really lucky to work there, but I don't know, I would be there and I kind of realized there's something missing in my life. Like I was really like craving like because obviously like I went to college and like didn't speak Irish or like really think about Irish for like a few years because I was like studying or whatever. But I have such a passion for Irish and languages and stuff, and I was like shit, now I'm 6 months into London, I'm probably going to stay here for another while, and if I don't like make a conscious effort to like maintain my language and like speak Irish, then I might lose it. And like the kind of fear of that is what like inspired me to start Gaeilge, because I obviously looked up lessons and I looked up like groups and stuff, and there are some like amazing like initiatives in London. Like there's like Croí Gaeilge do like a curricle cora like every 2 weeks in the London Irish Centre.
Yeah.
And there are people doing lessons, and like there are platforms like Irish with Molly is like an amazing online like teachers course and stuff. But I kind of like felt like I couldn't afford to pay for lessons, and I couldn't like I kind of like I wanted something like that was like modernizing. Like I wanted to create something that inspired me then to create Croí Gaeilge, because I wanted to like create like a modern like a collective that like wasn't just about, you know, I do obviously my events that are like come to the pint and kind, like come and chat and have a pint and speak Irish, like that's encouraging people to speak Irish. But I also wanted like more than that. Like I wanted like events, like different ways of like incorporating the language into like the modern world, and like you know, the kind of like scene, like the creative scene in London, I guess, and have it as like an all inclusive, like open to everybody kind of vibe, where like anyone can come if you want to learn Irish. Like I get so many people like, I'm not Irish, can I come and learn Irish? I'm like, yeah, obviously, everybody can come. It's literally open to everyone. It's not like a exclusive thing. That's the last thing that I want.
Well, first of all of the kind of lessons and stuff, which I think are like vital, I probably will sign up in the new year, but they do feel kind of like quite serious, or there's something quite like schoolish about them. Maybe
that was the thing that like really like, you don't want to feel like you're being like, personally, like I just, as much like I love languages so much, but I find like actually speaking with people is the way that I learn. And like obviously like when you're in school, you have to like, you go to class and like you're taught by someone in person. Like I can't learn online as much as I try. Like I prefer, like I can read, I like to read a book and like learn through like reading a book, whatever. Like listening to audiobooks listening to podcasts is one way I love of like trying to learn language. But actually studying, I can't do it anymore. I don't know. I can't do anymore. So like creating a space that's like just really chill, and like you come and you speak whatever you can. I think that like that also like inspires people to feel more confident in themselves, because like I've noticed it in my friend group so much, like in the last year. My friends are amazing also. They come to like everything and they're so supportive. They like people, my friends who like wouldn't have had any confidence in Irish will now say like sláinte and slán, and like, you know, like little words to incorporate. And then my friends that like would have more Irish or want to learn more Irish, like we're speaking it in my flat now, like a lot more. And like what NCAD have done like with the movie and like
incredible
everything, like they're really inspiring people to learn language. And like I've met so many people who are like saw the NCAD movie and it just instilled something within people and really touched people. And it was like what they said was, it started out as a movie about like the Irish language, but it became so much more than that. It became like worldwide indigenous languages about like, you know, the most innate human thing is like language and communication, the fact that we can communicate with each other. And language is obviously like the way that we do that. And when you strip a country of their like native tongue, like you take away like something that's so integral like to their like spirit and whatever. Do you know what I mean? Shine.
I think like spaces like that are so important, that people can go and be kind of conversational, and that's how you keep a language alive as well.
Exactly.
Because like, you know, we can learn all the grammar we want, but unless it's like actually being spoken.
Because I don't believe in like I don't know, being harsh on people while they're trying to speak the language, like correcting them. I don't believe in that bollocks. Like I don't believe in like discouragement. Like I think that like that's a surefire way to like kill a language. Do you know what I mean? Like I think I am happy to be the person to be like speaking Irish and throwing in English and being like, lads, I don't know the word for this, but you know, I'm happy to like speak it imperfectly rather than never speak it at all because I'm too afraid like to speak it. I think that's like an important mindset to have, like and then the grammar can come, and then the proper, you know, like that will come if people want to like pursue, you know, learning it themselves, whatever. But like listening to podcasts, like I listen to How to Gaeilge quite a bit. I've only recently kind of discovered them, but like they speak, they're all like absolutely fluent. They're like TG Cahir presenters and stuff. They're fab. Like they'll speak English and then throw in like the Cúpla Focal and whatever, and like I'm learning words from them, and like it's brilliant, and I understand it, and people need to know that they know more than they think.
Yeah, they do. That's one thing I noticed with that podcast is like I'll be listening and I actually forget that they're speaking Irish. Like I'm just letting it like flow.
It is part of us. Like like if you've went to the Irish, if you've been a part of the Irish school system, like you have learned Irish from like quite a young age, and you actually know more than you think. And like quite a lot of people have gone to Gaeilge schools and have lost it since. But like my flatmate, like she went to a Gaeilge school, like primary school. Yeah. And she's like, oh, it's at the back of my mind, like it's still there. Like I just wasn't confident enough to speak it. And now she's like obviously trying more.
What's your favorite way to shop sustainably? What's your favorite way to like?
So lately, me and the girls in the flat, like we're obsessed with Vinted.
I'm addicted.
We're like Vinted, like we love it. Yeah. So like we all were like we're doing our winter clean out, and like we all put up like a load of bits, like we're selling bits for the first time. Like I don't know why we haven't done this earlier, but like we all collectively like started selling bits, and we're like, oh my god, like people actually are buying bits. And make a few bob.
I can make money.
It was kind of like was born out of being skint, like so we're like, we need to sell things to live. But Vinted is brilliant. It's really it's affordable. There's good quality pieces. It's like straight away in my first year of college, like we learned about like we were taught about sustainability and like slow fashion and like shopping independent, whatever, which was so good. So I think I've always had like that's such a good like mindset that was like instilled in me
and normalized.
But it's education. It's like educating people about like why it's important, and like that's not available to everyone, and that's okay. Croí is a event that me and Fikra, who runs Select a Grove, which is like a DJ, Irish and Lebanese run DJ collective in London. So they curate like different events with DJs and stuff. We have collaborated to create Croí, which is a night of Irish language, Irish music, and we are fundraising for medical aid for Palestinians. So we have like an amazing lineup of different DJs and bands, and we have a raffle with prizes that have been donated by amazing Irish artists and designers, which all the proceeds will go to medical aid for Palestinians as well, and we'll be selling pin badges on the night as well. And it's gonna be a fun time. I wanted to do something before Christmas, but not make it like a Christmas super festive theme thing, but like I wanted to do something just before Christmas, because like in the spirit of giving and generosity and like what Christmas is meant to like represent. I wanted us to come together and like remember like what's happening in the world, like the people who are still facing horrific genocide every day, and to just come together in solidarity and raise money and like continue to show support, because like that's really important. Croí means hearts in Irish, obviously, and I wanted to bring hearts together for Palestine and Lebanon.
I think that's
us.
That's done.
That's us now.
Follow Emily. I'll link all of like Croí Gaeilge and
follow Croí Gaeilge if you want to learn Irish, I guess.
It is just so fun.
No, it's good. It's a good buzz.
It's a good buzz.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, that's so fine.
Good to Athrú. Say bye.